L'Arche is a community of homes and programs for adults with a developmental disability. These communities were started by Jean Vanier in France in 1964, and since then have spread around the world. The first L'Arche home in Hamilton was founded in 1978.
I started by, first of all, I heard Jean Vanier speak, and it was very inspiring. I was at a gathering, and the director of L'Arche in Stratford was there. So I just said to her, I'm kind of thinking of beginning a community in Hamilton, and I thought she'd say, oh dear, not you, you're too young or whatever. I was young then. And, but she said, oh, okay, well, this is what you have to do. And so it was like a how-to right there, step 1, step 2, step 3. So basically, that is how I came to begin the L'Arche Hamilton community. One of the early things we did was buy a house, and the School Sisters of Notre Dame gave an interest-free loan to us for the house, and it was 1622 King Street East, which we no longer have. Our actual opening date was December 1st, 1978. That's the anniversary date. That was the date that we were accepted into the International Federation of L'Arche Communities. So that was our official date. And by then we had two people, Dara and Roger, and they were both from long-term institutional backgrounds. And then Kevin came, and Kevin came from a family background, so very different experiences, of course. And then Joyce came. So those were the 4 core members.
I was first nervous, but then I was learning for a big family. And so I was happy that I found like a big family. When I came, I remember my first days that I went up. They didn't make me cook. Or they let me rest my first day at L'Arche. And I watched TV with Kevin and Roger at the time. It was neat.
It was nice to have a kind of gentle, like a family, like with some nice feeling when you felt good, being with friends, L'Arche, they try to help you.
I like the people around me here. They comfort me and they help me out a lot. It's very welcoming here, and it's safe for everybody to be here and be themselves and have great people here.
My best friend is good, always will be Charles Reed. He's has a good personality.
Charles Reed. I just made it for people, for lives. Just love, joy, and peace. That's all.
Do you like doing art, per life, and making pottery, pictures? Like people enjoy it, had to learn how to better artist in the program.
I like to make lunch.
It's very welcoming at L'Arche.
In '83, I came to Hamilton, and when I came to the community, it was like coming home. I just knew in my own heart and my own being that this was where I was meant to be, and so I left the Sisters of St. Joseph and became a member of Hamilton L'Arche community.
I began in 1981, and actually, when I lived at King Street, I actually roomed with Kevin Forrester, so Kevin and I shared the same bedroom together.
The mandate of L'Arche, quite simply, is to live with, and that's what we're doing, and it's to live with the core members, it's to live with the other assistants, it's to live with whoever walks in the door, and to share home and to share our table.
So for me, L'Arche has been a great gift. It really set the course for my adult life, gave me the guideposts, the signposts to help me to live as best we could as a couple and as family.
And it's not always easy. There's days that it's beautiful and wonderful and you see that easily. There are other days that it's just the daily drudge and you don't want to do it. And I think that's our relationship with God as well. So I think it's just simply the being with, being accepted and loving one another.
Yeah.
And the core members teach us that. I think they're much better at it than I am, and same in our family. Simply said it's okay to be who you are, and it's okay. And I think they look to us to say, and is it okay for me to be who I am? And as long as that kind of stayed as part of your daily experience, no matter what came into that daily experience, that was the gift of L'Arche.
I started in L'Arche in 1993 as a co-op student, actually, out of university. My first impression was, oh, this is a nice place, a lot of good people doing good work. The longer I stayed around, that impression changed. I realized more about what the mission of L'Arche is, and how really L'Arche is changing the world. I know that's a very big phrase, kind of grandiose, but L'Arche does change the world in small ways, one person at a time. L'Arche Hamilton runs 5 homes for people with disabilities. We have a program, a day program, which is a creative arts program, and it's a recreation-based program. People learn skills, people do pottery and painting, this kind of thing. Our program supports some folks who live in our homes, but others who live outside the community with their parents, with their family, who come just for the day. We have gatherings, we have events, we have barbecues and a lot of fun times. We're a faith community, so we have a weekly time of prayer together. And as we journey, we talk about daily life, we talk about our spiritual journey, and we grow in all of that, and we grow together. And we really celebrate just the dailiness of L'Arche. These are simple things. These are things that many of us just take for granted, but they're really fundamental to what L'Arche is. Needing each other, living together, getting on each other's nerves and needing to forgive each other.
I came in 1986 as a live-in assistant. It's people welcoming people. I mean, that's a big part of community. Can you be there for me? Can you be present? Place where people can find home, and to heal and to find out who they are and to celebrate people. That's a big part of our mission. Also, we're true to our stories, like the fact that Jean Vanier chose to live with 2 men. And it's a wonderful way for assistants to come to share their lives with people, to live something very mutual and inclusive. Tough parts are when people die or pass away. That's really a tough time. So we come together and we celebrate people's life. We share stories. We hold each other during that time. Another time is when assistants come and go. I think that's a hard time to say goodbye. But we also know a seed had been planted, and that we hope that they continue to share the mission and identity and the friendships that they got while they were here. I
do see us somehow reaching out to more people and growing our circle bigger. L'Arche has never been stagnant. L'Arche has never been comfortable with just being stable.
Maybe bring the sense of community to others, instead of just being our own little community insular, that we can actually provide being teachers of being a community.
What I think of L'Arche Hamilton today, I think that it's an overall great community to be a part of. I would say that L'Arche is very life-giving, and it's not always looked upon as a job per se, but more of a place where you can come and be welcomed by everyone.
The hot word at L'Arche is mutuality, but it's so huge. How it works at L'Arche, I mean, it's the foundation of L'Arche. It's what being in community and living with people is about.
I often say that core members are people with overdeveloped hearts, living with people with overdeveloped minds. And so if we've got the minds and the core members have the hearts, then being in L'Arche brings those two things together.